So relocation is less burdensome for people in a higher socioeconomic level because they do have more money and they're more likely to have employers that will offer them incentives to move and help them pay for relocation. Um, when an industry or a company moves to an area, it can create a real estate boom. It will also raise the property value in neighborhoods surrounding where they moved. And sometimes when a company moves to an area that has a higher cost of living, they have to offer more incentives to like lure employees in. And this is like paying for lease cancellation fees and offering stocks and bonuses in the employment package, and even offering housing allowances to kind of lure employees in. Um, the relationship between the list price and the market price um, will indicate how long a house sits on the market. So if the listing price is close to or similar to the market price, then that generates more interest among buyers and agents, and the house will sell faster. But if the list price is significantly above the market price, then it's going to sit on the market for a long time and then not even sell at the listing price. It's going to sell at less than the listing price. For builders, they can incorporate economic factors to kind of help them gauge supply and demand of the market so they don't build too much. If they build too many houses and create too much supply and demand is slowing down, houses aren't selling as fast, then those units that they built aren't going to draw people in. They're just going to sit on the market for a long time and sell at a low price. They can also kind of gauge interest rates. I mean, you can't predict them, but you can try. And, low interest rates kind of entice new buyers to jump into the market. And that might indicate, like, for a builder that it's time to build some more units. In general, builders' effects on the market, if they build too many units and there are already so many unsold units on the market, then they're just inflating the supply. And when there's no demand, then that's just going to lower the housing prices. For determining whether or not to rent a property out, if the rent is above the average variable cost, then it's good to rent. If the average, if the rent, if the income generated from the rent is below the average variable cost, then it should stay vacant. And variable costs are things like utilities, repairs, management, and services. And when you're looking at whether or not you should demolish a building, you look at the average fixed costs, and fixed costs include mortgage, the property taxes, insurance. And so the um, if you if the value of the property, if you're able to generate more, well, how do I say this? If you save more money by demolishing the building, then it will be demolished. So that means that if the income minus the variable costs is a lot less, and you end up, or no, I'm sorry, if you end up saving money compared to the income minus the variable costs, then the building should be demolished. And that's after you've taken into account the cost of actually demolishing the building. And so when you're looking at an investment, whether or not you should demolish the current property to build something else, the book had an example that a property that was zoned for 40 units, and currently on that property there was an 8 unit building. The 8 unit building is generating $600,000 in a gross income, but a 40 unit building, I mean the lot is zoned for 40 units and could possibly bring in 1.6 million, then you would demolish the 8 unit building and then rebuild a 40 unit building to make the most money and to make the most use out of the land.